Hey guys, welcome back to this video. This is going back to the SP topic. I like to alternate my videos and we're talking about what your SP is going to be experiencing, but in the context of if you're doing well with your manifestation versus if you're not doing well. First of all, I will say you're not going to ruin it, but I will explain what may or may not happen if you're persisting, and then if you're wavering. What is the result? How is that going to impact your specific person? So I'm going to get into all of these different points today, so do stay tuned and watch the whole video. And on screen, I will just, as always, put my coaching offers, my extra services and special offers, discounts, ways to work with me and get extra support. If you do have any manifestation questions, do not leave them in the comments below, because I don't offer free coaching like that, but you have all my free content. You have hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands at this point, of social media content from me and obviously loads of other creators on these topics. So you don't have to pay for coaching, but if you want the extra support, the only way is to pay for one of my special extra offers. So everything is in the description box or linked right below the video screen. And without further ado, let's get into today's topic. So regardless of, I'm not talking about doing it perfectly, but if you're doing really well, you've been persisting amazingly, and also in the context of just a general manifestation where maybe you're not prioritizing above everything else your SP manifestation, regardless, in either scenario, your SP is always conforming. Your specific person will always be conforming to your affirmations or your visuals, or whatever it is you repetitively focus on, that's what they will continue to conform to. So the speed of that and the kind of strength of that conforming does depend on you and your mindset, which I'll get into in the video. As I said, persisting versus wavering, but it's not going to mean that your person is not conforming at all and it reverts back to the old story or something negative. That is not going to happen, because you would have to literally be focusing on that, meaning you're not doing anything for manifestation. You're not manifesting at all. There's no repetition. So everyone is getting some movement and some conforming no matter what. If you are persisting with your manifestation, with your affirmations, your SP is changing. Their thoughts are changing, their feelings are changing. They are having an internal conforming process, which then reflects outwards. So the intention, has to precede the action. So that's a good phrase to remember as well for an SP conforming. So they have to have inspired action, thoughts, feelings, inspiration, reminders, a feeling of missing you or a feeling of desiring something that would lead to, meeting with you, something like that. And they have to have that intention come up and that inspiration come up in their mind. So from there comes the text messages, the actions, the dates, the commitment to your relationship, whatever it is you're manifesting, whatever that might look like. So they are always conforming. It is building up and something is changing internally. So I think people do struggle with the idea of that not being visible and it not being kind of shown to you directly. I know it can be a bit frustrating to put all the effort in and then not immediately get a text message saying, hey, I've actually had really strong feelings for you recently and I love you. I know it can feel it can create a little bit of impatience and make you feel a little frustrated, but it is very much an internal conforming process. So if you persist, that is going to be how your SP continues to conform. If you do spiral and you start to maybe question what's going on, question the movement, and especially question your 3D reality, which is, I think, quite common. And if you do it repetitively and you spiral a lot and you're constantly reaffirming in, one way or another, mentally or verbally, the circumstances you don't want, the old version, the negative circumstances and the lack of a relationship, lack of contact with your SP. If you continue to focus on that, or you start to focus on it because you spiraled, something triggered you in the 3D and you started to waver and you just can't let it go, you just aren't able to refocus mentally and then persist in your affirmations or a mental diet or a verbal rampage or just something to shift your mindset back and get back on track, then your SP is probably going to pull away. So again, it doesn't mean your manifestation is ruined or that there is no movement, but it's going to probably, at least slow down. They will probably pull away and it will create a hot and cold effect, because your thoughts would be hot and cold, where you should be affirming, you understand manifestation. Even someone who's literally just started on a basic level, it's repetition. You'd say, you put out essentially into the universe, you say out loud or in your mind, and focus on the version of the reality that you want, and you repeat that over and over. But then if you're still wavering despite doing, you know, the techniques and the methods, then your SP is going to react. It is hot and cold regardless of that. You can't say, oh, but I do my affirmations, but to what extent, and what are the quality of your thoughts? Those are the things to consider as well, because that's going to really affect what you're seeing in your physical reality, how quickly things conform, what your SP reflects back to you. And in this case, if you do waver and you really have been very up and down in your thoughts, then your SP is also going to waver in their conforming, in the way they act to you. It's going to slow things down and maybe create, you know, the positive, but also a little bit of negative and lack. So even though movement might slow down, like I said, don't, you know, get into a victim mindset, or even just, you know, feel really down about it. Try and lift yourself back up and remind yourself of the positives, because nothing can ruin manifestation or movement unless you give up. You would have to stop, because you create your physical reality around you. So if you continue and you just persist and get back on track, no matter what's happened, just pick yourself back up and keep going, then your SP is going to continue conforming. It is going to continue changing in your favor. It will work. So just remind yourself that movement cannot be ruined. It may slow down, and if you're seeing that, just say, okay, I know the cause of that, and now I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to get back on track with a positive mindset. And as soon as you start becoming more consistent and truly persisting with your manifestation and being consistent every day, their assumptions and their beliefs are also going to change, because as we know, it affects you. It starts from you. Everything comes from your own mindset. So by you conforming and you repeating your affirmations, your SP is going to basically mirror reflect you. If you waver and you focus on circumstances and something negative, they're probably going to be reminded of it too, or start to pull back or slow down a little bit, but their assumptions and beliefs will be changing. So if you say that they're constantly contacting you or texting you, then their assumptions and their beliefs and their desires are all going to start shifting, and they're going to think, I want to text this person a lot. And when they start, they're going to be like, wow, I talk to this person a lot, and they're just going to feel good about it. It's going to manifest in a positive way. So their assumptions and beliefs in their own mindset are conforming the same way yours will be. On that topic, they will actually also forget negative circumstances. They will forget negative past experiences you've had, any issues from the past. Even if they said, I'll never speak to you again, and you know, you broke up, or they just send you a nasty text message, or like something you just didn't want to hear maybe, they will forget everything. It will be irrelevant. It will be illogical. They will come back and say, you know, the complete opposite. Usually it's quite a surprise and a shock when you actually hear exactly what you want, or something really, really sweet and loving and, you know, romantic. If you're manifesting a romantic relationship, then you will actually be surprised. Usually it's the case that people just can't believe how amazingly and positively that person has conformed and what they're hearing. So it may even be that your affirmations are repeated back to you verbatim, or they use the phrasing so you know it's that they've fully conformed to that. But either way, they will forget the negative, and none of that will be relevant anymore. The words that they use with you and to you, as I said, will reflect their feelings, their conformed feelings. Again, so don't hold on to or try to apply logic to anything that came up in the past. If it wasn't positive and it wasn't what you wanted to hear, do not remind yourself of it. Try and, you know, use your mental diet to push back on that, because it's not going to help to logically analyze those things, but it will also reflect your focus. So not only what they've conformed to, but what you've been focusing on is the way they will speak to you or text you, you know, or communicate with you in any way. It's going to reflect your affirmations and where your predominant focus has been. So it does take a little bit of time, but more and more consistently, they will become that new version that you want. And of course, they reflect your dominant thoughts. So you want to make sure that you're being consistent, because the more consistently you repeat your affirmations, the more consistently your specific person conforms to those. So you can always remind yourself of the everyone is you pushed out Neville Goddard concept, because your SP is your mirror reflection. They are reflecting back to you the things you assume about relationships or dating or your connection with them directly, how you view yourself. All of it ties into one, you know, beautiful satin bow-tied package where they're going to reflect everything back to you. So if your own mind is conforming and you've been consistent, they are also consistently conforming and having their beliefs, assumptions, and desires shifted. So it happens naturally, step by step, but it is working, it is coming together, it is happening. So that is going to be today's video. I hope you guys found that useful and understand that nothing's going to be ruined. It's just going to probably be slowed down or turn into a bit of like a roller coaster experience, but quite up and down. So you want to try your best not to waver or spiral or give in to that. And just try and stay persistent and consistent every day to the best of your ability. And that is going to be today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.